We're drafting live in T minus. Let's put it up on screen here. We're drafting live in T minus 9 minutes and 56 seconds. But before we draft live, because you know how we do draft nights going forward, no longer do we come in here and just meander on in and say we're going to do a live draft like a boring old show. We instead have a topic at hand before we draft, kicking off the draft in 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes from the time of the start of show. And we talk about a heated debate that might impact the draft we're about to partake in. And this particular draft is Joe Burrow versus Justin Fields. And why are we talking about this in particular? Because we drafted this man instead of this man in the throne draft. And I'm behind both of them. It's up to the people. I didn't even weigh in at all. But I fully support either one of these ballers as your fantasy football quarterback. And there's a reason that I have both of these gentlemen as two of my top 4 picks in fantasy football 2023. Joe Burrow in round 6 right now. Justin Fields in 4, 5, 6, depending on who you're drafting with. This man Gibbs in 3, sometimes 4 with your grandma. And this guy Kenneth Walker falling to 5, 6, 7. Just depends on how many grandmas are in your draft. But what we're doing here today is we're discussing, when do you go Burrow, who has the calf injury? Not a big concern to me, but we also want shares of this guy right here to an extreme degree. So I'm here to discuss that and more, and draft with you, the fantasy football show. And here, right here, that link right there. That's how you get into the draft tonight. I just dropped it. I'm going to pin it in the live chat right here. In fact, let me go in there and pin that before I actually hit the intro. I want you guys to all know how to get into the draft tonight. Click that link, punch it, do it live. I'm going to pin it right now. Underdog will match up to $100 on your first deposit. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. The link inserts promo code Smitty for you. The link is in the description of every video practically that I have. So if you're watching a replay of the show, go to the description. Click the link. If you're in the live chat right now, click the link that I just pinned. It will insert promo code Smitty. They will match up to $100 in your first deposit. You'll be ready to go. You'll have the app downloaded. And then guess what? You get to jump in a draft with me right now once we're done with this 7-minute conversation on Joe Burrow versus Justin Fields. The fantasy football show begins right now.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
7 minutes and 1 second. 1 second is what we have to discuss this topic. I think I can get it done. If we go over, we go over. But here's the topic at hand. Smitty, I have a question for you. Why on earth would you draft Justin Fields? You're so high on Joe Burrow. And the answer is, I want both of them. I'm not scared about Joe Burrow. I'm not scared at all about Joe Burrow. In fact, the risk of his calf injury dropping him to round 6 makes him such a steal. And yeah, there's a little introduced risk. I'm not a moron. I do cover injuries pretty much better than anybody in the fantasy industry, including a lot of the doctor content out there. Your boy's not a doctor. I got my degrees in something different, a little psychology action up in this mug, as well as journalism. But your boy Smitty has been covering injuries for over 20 years. And there's risk involved. I'm not an idiot. Okay, but the introduced risk is low. The reaction, the overreaction is extreme. It's not warranted. The kicking down of Joe Burrow into round 6, sometimes 7.1, is not an appropriate reaction. It's an overreaction. And if you asked me, Smitty, you said, Smitty, if you could press a button and undo Joe Burrow's calf injury, of course I would press it because I don't want Joe Burrow hurting whatsoever. But in theory, I would tell you from a fantasy perspective, I don't want to press the button because I'm not worried about the calf. Aaron Rodgers had a calf strain. That calf is not being talked about. Joe Burrow hobbled, Aaron Rodgers didn't, but we didn't see if maybe Aaron Rodgers did have a little moment where he pulled up and limped a little bit. There's no situation where this feels like it's a severe tear. We could be being lied to. But every account, every report, everybody that's talking about it, everybody close to the situation is not concerned about week 1 at all. In fact, this gives Burrow time to work on his contract, get paid big bucks. I'm not worried about it at all. And so in a fantasy context, in real life, I press it. I don't want Joseph hurt. But in a fantasy context, would I press this button and undo the negative impact that Joe Burrow's calf injury is having on his ADP? Or would I rather take it? I'd rather take it. I'd take Joe Burrow at 7.1, 6.5 with the possible calf injury over pressing the button and having to pay 4th or 5th round value. It's the same concept with Kenny Walker and Charbonnet. Charbonnet landed on a roster. I could press this button and undo the drafting of Zach Charbonnet, leaving Kenneth Walker in the backfield. He's got Kenny McIntosh, who I like a lot, by the way. If I press that button, Charbonnet and Kenny McIntosh vanish into the ether. And let's say they bring in Frank Gore, who's now in the front office in San Francisco. They bring him in as the backup. Whatever running back you want. Let's say it's an old, injured, crusty old back. He's the only back on the team, and it's Kenneth Walker. I would not press said button because I don't want to return Kenneth Walker to round 2. I like Kenneth Walker where he is, who he is, what he's going to be. In round 5 right now with the groin injury, 5-6. He was 4-5. Now he's stapled and cemented into 5. Or he falls into round 6 because of the groin injury and because of Zach Charbonnet. I'm not pressing the button. I'm not pressing the button for Joe Burrow. I'm not pressing the button for Kenny Walker. I'm not pressing the button for either of those situations because Joe Burrow is worth the risk. The upside's much greater if this is a scale, as I always say, of risk on this side and reward on this side, or upside on this side and risk on this side. The upside of Joe Burrow in round 6-7 is slammed down, and the scale, it doesn't even feel the risk. It's not heavy enough to make this teeter-totter. It can't even lift this side of the scale. The same thing can be said for Kenny Walker. So, let's circle back. So, Smitty, is what you're trying to tell me Joe Burrow is the only pick? And that's not the case, though. Because I believe this guy, could be the number 1 quarterback in the fantasy football realm in 2023. The number 1 quarterback in fantasy football 2023. This could be the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football 2023. It's like two Spider-Mans pointing at each other, and they're saying, you're the guy. No, you're the guy. They both could be the guy. And because there is a little bit of risk, which I've acknowledged that I don't really care about at 6th and 7th round ADP, it is so baked in at that point. Overreaction city. Because I love the value here, it seems like it'd be the only pick for me. But it's not, because both these guys are 2 of my favorite 4 draft selections in all of 2023. And my plea to you is this. You're worried about Joe Burrow, I get it. But here's the kicker. Here's the beautiful part. Here's the part that you need to say to yourself, okay, what Smitty's saying, it makes a whole lot of sense right here. This is the most important part of the entire show. Joe Burrow, if he has even a tiny bit of risk at all that you're concerned about, that you don't want to take on, that you're feeling isn't worth gambling with your draft selection in 2023. Shift on over to my second favorite quarterback in all of fantasy football at cost of entry in Justin Fields. And technically speaking, they're almost tied. They're almost tied in my mind. So if you have been like me and you're just hammering down on the Joe Burrow shares all offseason long, guess what? Now it's time for you to dabble into the Justin Fields space for a little bit more time than usual. Spend some time in the Justin Fields territory for the next month or two. The season starts in 30-something day. God, I can't believe how quick the season's coming. We don't even have 2 months anymore. It's such a natural reaction for me to say for the next couple months. We have less than 2 months before football starts. Way less than 2 months. We're closing in on potentially, Yeah, we're closing in on almost 30 days before the season starts. You have 30 days to go over-consume Justin Fields. The over ratio of drafting Burrow and then some Fields, flip it. Flip it. There's nothing wrong. I'm Smitty approving you flipping your 70% Joe Burrow buying tendency and then, 25-30% Justin Fields. I Smitty approve you flipping it in this context with this situation with the little bit of risk that's here. Flip it. Make him your 65-70% quarterback share guy going forward. Your exposure could be 65-75% going forward, 30% going forward, and you're still getting a whole bunch of Joe Burrow mixed in with your already oversaturated Joe Burrow value. And this just doesn't go for best ball. Some people say all I do is best ball. Now, it's not true. We do best ball drafts, but none of my content is best ball specific. It is all specific to fantasy football in general. And what I'm trying to tell you is, in the throne draft, I didn't necessarily sway the vote at all. Okay, I would take him 5 times out of 5, or 5 times out of 10. I'd take him 5 times out of 10. I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. I would take him 5 times out of 10 right now. I'd take him 5 times out of 10. Maybe Trevor Lawrence slips in there. I'm literally telling you, I Smitty approve what our throne draft direction, what direction we took it. And I sat there for a minute and I thought to myself, I'd actually prefer Fields with this specific team that we're drafting. And that's no knock on Burrow. You don't need to feel bad by liking these two guys equally. And you're a smart fantasy football owner for dividing it up. Divide it up. Make it 50-50 at least. I'm telling you that. Coming from the biggest Joe Burrow supporter and believer and probably one of the only analysts out there right now that have zero concerns about his injury, I'm telling you right now, I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 because both these guys could be the number 1 quarterback 2023. Both of them are Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right, let's get to drafting. I appreciate everybody that's here, and let's go. Let's do this. Okay, hold on. Let me switch back over to the draft app. Here we go. We're drafting. We're doing it live. Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow, Justin Fields. Where are they going to go? Everybody needs to be signed up. The link is pinned in the live chat. If you don't get into this specific draft, we're going to go ahead and do I get the super chats? Of course I do, Zach. I'm just in the middle of a rant. But here we go, Zach. Let me get to your super chats right here. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. Draft starts now. I can get rid of this. All right. Opinion on my start of my Superflex Dynasty draft. Fields, Waddle, AR. Amon-Ra, I think is who you got there, right? Is that right? Is that who AR is? Because that could be Anthony Richardson. A lot of people call him AR. So I assume no, that's Superflex. That's AR. That's Anthony Richardson. It's got to be. Some people abbreviate Amon-Ra in a very weird way. I'm going to assume it's AR 15. Okay, so Fields, Waddle, Anthony Richardson, Pitts, snagging Fields at 1.6 has me so hyped. Also, how do you feel about Waddle? I'm not huge on Waddle like everybody else, but I do believe that he's a great wide receiver. And he's got a lot of upside, but I don't love him like everybody else. I don't feel like he's a second-round player in 1 QB, so if you took him in round 2 in a 2 QB, I feel like that was easily a round early. But it doesn't mean he can't deliver, bro. Zach, I don't hate him. I don't hate him at all. I'm more into getting a number 1 wide receiver for his team. And one at that's probably as potent of an offense. It's not like we have to argue, okay, well, do you like Waddle in a very potent offense as the number 2 or a less potent offense with the number 1? At that point, you can find a very potent offense with the number 1 to compete against Waddle, who's the number 2 in a very potent offense. That's all I'm saying, Zach. I love the team. I love the start. You definitely have the makings of a team that can win it all. I'll tell you that right now. It doesn't matter if you took Waddle or another player that I like or whatever. That's still a stellar start to your team, bro. I'm very curious to know what you're going to do next. Look at Kenny Walker. Look at Javonte later. In a 1 QB, Javonte goes in 6-7, so maybe you get him in 7-8. Love the start. Thoughts on Pollard? Thoughts on Pollard? Let's see how this would be read. First of all, I can't thank you enough, Giovanna, for dropping the super chat, but I want to see how the computer is going to read this.
Thoughts on Pollard at 7th overall in 12-man full PPR.
It read it right. It read it right.
Thoughts on Pollard at 7th overall in 12-man full PPR.
This is a great question, Thomas. Pollard he's not a first rounder. He's a second rounder that sometimes you find at the top of 3. And the fact that you're hearing this, you're hearing a bunch of rumblings about Zeke Elliott potentially being brought back. And I'm not saying I'm concerned about that, but that's going to kick his value down to like 3.1. I don't think 7th overall in a 12-man PPR is a normal place to take him. Will he earn that? I do believe he'll actually earn that value, bro. I think he's a top 5 running back this year. But that's way too high. According to fair market value, even if you look at your pre-rank, your suggested rank, you're going to see people, you're going to see him so far below. You probably are going to have a good shot at getting him with your 2nd round pick. So I would not take him that high, even though I love him, bro. It's just way too high compared to the fair market value. Ace says traded Bijan, Jameson for Olave and ETN. I mean, that's a very arguable trade on both sides. I can't sit here and blast you whatsoever on that at all. Zach, appreciate you. I can't say that you got blasted getting ETN and Olave, but part of me in a dynasty would rather have the Bijan and upside of JMO to try and get as close to Olave or ETN, however you want to look at that. But that's a very, very, very fair trade on both sides. And that's hard to say being a Bijan truther that I am. Appreciate your super chats, all of you guys. Keep them rolling. I'll answer super chats as fast as I can while we draft. Let's get into a draft, shall we? Swipe on over. Just go through these. There's slow puppies. There's hound dogs. We're going into the hound dog. It's $10 per entry. I'm not going to click the green button yet. I'm just going to click into it, so don't jump in yet. I'll tell you when to hit the green button. $400K in prizes, $50K to first place. You see the prizes right there. This is a 1 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end, and 10 bench spots. Click the green button now. The link's pinned in the live chat if you wanted to sign up and join with us. YouTube delay has me waiting a couple of seconds just to make sure we're all synced up at the right timing. 5 more spots to fill. Appreciate every single one of you in here tonight. Avi in the building. Travis Rowe in the building. Appreciate my boy Travis. Appreciate, I think, being the first one in the building tonight. I just cleaned up. Don't mind the mess. And then who is the first super chatter of the night? You get a standing ovation for being the first super chat. I got the number 2 pick. I love getting the number 2 pick. First super chatter of the night was Zach. Zach gets a standing O. Zach, I appreciate you, my guy, for dropping that first super chat of the night. Keep them rolling in, guys. I'll throw super chats on screen the moment they come in. Let me go ahead and activate that notification too, so that when they come in, I see them. I've also got I got to get the YouTube live stream up so that I can see what's going on here with the YouTube exclusive members. I have to actually have the stream open to see that stuff. That stuff doesn't pull into my system, so let me move that over. I don't know if I have any YouTube exclusive notifications. I don't think so far, so let me move that over there. All right, draft starting in 12 seconds. Phone lines will be open here after round 1. Avi's calling in. I'll just answer. What's up, Avi? You're live.
What's going on, Smitty? I love your Fields Burrow take. You can't go wrong with either one.
You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible.
You can't go wrong with them.
So
and
I'm in the
part of the big.
I'm in the 2-hole real quick. I'm on the clock here. 21 seconds left.
Yeah, you go.
Some people say, Smitty, you love Bijan so much. Are you taking him every time? The answer is still no. Anytime I got the 1 or 2 pick, I'm taking Chase. I take JJ 1 out of every 5 times or 6 times, let's say. I'll take Chase maybe 5 times in a row. I'll take JJ 1. I might even take Kelsey once in a while. But when people ask me why I don't go Bijan every time, it's because if you get in a normal draft with grandmas, I'm not talking about with us, this community. If you get picked 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, sometimes even 10 and 11, Bijan's there 90% of the time. And so every single draft slot I get that's not 1 or 2 overall, I'm taking Bijan in every one of those drafts. So I don't need to do that in my 1 or 2 slot. In my 1 or 2 slot, I need to take advantage of the very rare opportunity that I get to draft one of the top 2 wide receivers. So that's why I never draft Bijan at 1 or 2 in underdog, because I need to get some Chase and JJ shares and Kelsey shares. So that's where I use the 1, 2, and 3 picks to do that. And I rarely get them. You get the 1 or 2 pick, once every like 7 drafts or 8 drafts, right? So I just want to explain that to everybody why I didn't take Bijan. But I love Jamar Chase. It's PPR, or it's half PPR. It's also 3 wide receivers, so Chase is the number 2 or number 1 to me technically. But I just wanted to explain that to everybody. It went JJ, Chase, Bijan, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, AJ Brown going quite high. Eckler, Travis Kelce fall into a great territory of 8, 9, 10 lately. It's weird. Garrett Wilson, I like that at 9. That's perfect. Cooper Kupp falling down to 10, especially in our community. I bet you this, I don't know if hit time or hit me or whatever this, what is it, hit me? Hit me. I don't know if Hit Me is one of ours. I don't think he is, but he's probably wondering how in the hell Kupp fell that far. But we're staying clear of Kupp. He's a no-go for me right now. I'm not saying I wouldn't take him like somewhere in round 2. It depends on who would be there. But the thing is, he's not falling that far, so I'm never going to be put in that position. But Kupp concerns the hell out of me with the double injury, the double recovery he's kind of recovering from last year's surgery, and then now he's got the hamstring. There's just a lot to worry about when he's not even back to form from last year's surgery, the tightrope surgery that he had on his leg at 30 years old. I'm not feeling really comfortable with Kupp at all at 30 years old, trying to recover from now 2 injuries. We got Mark, appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Kupp falling to 10 is negligent. Well, you heard my reaction, James. I think it's fitting, and I wouldn't take him at 10 if he fell to me at 10. So I must be negligent, James, but that's okay. Kelsey and Mahomes paired together, Garrett Wilson and Barkley, Cooper Kupp and Chris Olave, CeeDee Lamb and Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Allen and Austin Eckler. That 6 spot with A.J. Brown paired up with Jalen Hurts. I could see that coming from a mile away. Christian McCaffrey at number 5. Who's this guy going to take? And I know a lot of people are going to say, he'll be fine. He's Cooper Kupp. He'll be fine. Those aren't arguments. No one can give a good argument. He's Cooper Kupp.
Exactly.
He's Cooper Kupp. It's just who he is. He's had one elite monster season. That is it. He had one 1,100-yard year, which was a good year. Still top 10 wide receiver. One 1,100-yard year and his Triple Crown year. Those are the only 2 full seasons that he's had that have been amazing. One of them wasn't even, it was good, really good, but it wasn't amazing. He's had one amazing season, and everybody and their mother acts like Cooper Kupp has been a staple inside the top 5 wide receivers for a decade, and it's not the case. And he's 30 years old. He's 30 years old. Mystic, the phone lines are open. All right, hold on one second while I'm drafting here. I'm on the clock.
Yep.
This is such a precarious situation here because I've got all of you sniping left and right. I'm going to have to reach on somebody here. I'm going to have to. Or I could go Derrick Henry, which I normally don't do.
That's a tough pick.
I'm going to do that. I don't have any Derrick Henry shares as of late at all. I don't like him at the top of 2. I don't think he's playing a full season. But I don't have a lot of Derrick Henry shares at all. It feels like something that I don't mind doing.
Yeah, sure, it's not bad value.
I don't mind doing it, especially chasing Henry and just see. It makes me feel a little weird because at the end of the day, I don't believe he's playing a full year. I just don't. But I don't mind mixing things up a little bit. This is a situation where Do I reach? I'm going to reach on Gibbs here. It's a bad example that I'm setting, but I'm still taking him in round 3. I'm not doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
I know Speedy's going to take him. He's right after me, so he's going to ruin his ADP anyway. So I might as well just ruin it one spot ahead. Not to mention, we're not really doing too much damage because there are going to be, 200,000 entrants or whatever into this contest. And, what is little old me going to do? And we can't really think of it that way. In general, we do have to be careful not to try and move ADP data, but it's harder to move it on Underdog. There's so many drafters, so I'm not too worried about it. Mystic, you're live on the show. What's up, pal?
Hey, just wondering what we're talking about today. I just got here.
Well, talked about Burrow versus Fields and how I Smitty approve and condone at least an equal share of both of them versus just going heavy Burrow. And it's not because I think Burrow is not going to stay healthy or get healthy. It's just a good way to nudge yourself into a different direction and say, hey, there's a little bit of risk with his calf, not enough to run from it. It's such good opportunity. It opens up a new opportunity because Joe Burrow in round 6 is way better than Joe Burrow in round 5 or round 4. So Joe Burrow's getting shoved down to round 6. Take full advantage of it. But in saying that, most of my people are so oversaturated with Joe Burrow shares already. This is a good moment to just say, let's flip it a little bit and continue to take advantage of the new opportunity on Joe Burrow in round 5 or 6. Let's do it. I've seen him go in 7. It's crazy. I want a lot of shares of that. I'm talking about like 30% of my drafts are Joe Burrow in round 6. Give it to me all day long, bro. But it's time to shift into the Justin Fields territory and start consuming maybe over 50% of your teams going forward, especially on Underdog, with some Justin Fields round 5, or 4, depending on where you got to take him. We took him. So the reason I kicked off this conversation is we took him in the throne draft over Joe Burrow, and I didn't influence it at all, really. I let the Moon Man nominate the Moon Man and Mars Men nominate the guys that they wanted to be up for vote. I try and do the voting a little different each time. Last year, I let the Discord make a pick all by themselves. The Discord was the only one that made a draft selection. I go to IG Live. I go to YouTube Live. I like to circle around and give everybody an opportunity to get a chance to vote, because some of my platforms don't necessarily spill over to the others. And so the Moon Men and Mars Men narrowed it down to Burrow and Fields. I put it up on an IG poll and let my entire IG audience make the call. Not the Moon Men and Mars Men. The Moon Men and Mars Men just put the nomination up. And my community drafted Fields by a hair. I don't even know if the poll is still up. Can someone tell me what the poll is on IG? Last time I checked, it was 54% Fields. It was really, really close. But my whole point in the show tonight was to condone that. And just say, look, I'm doing it too. It doesn't mean I don't love Burrow, and my 2 most drafted quarterbacks are Fields and Burrow still. It just isn't 60% Burrow, 40% Fields. Right now, it's more 50-50 for me. And I love it. I love every bit about it. I love that I'm still scooping him up even later, and I love that I'm getting Justin Fields. It's forcing me a little bit to draft Fields a little more, and I want to. I need that push because I'm so tied and I gravitate to Joe Burrow. This is good for me. It's good for me to get a lot of Fields shares going forward and oversaturate, this side of the fence, the calf injury Joe Burrow, the Burrow post calf injury. That's where I'm saturating myself with a lot more Fields than normal. And it feels good, baby. It feels good. Fields are gold.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in
Hell
time.
yeah.
Fields.
I'm in the same boat, man. I just traded, I think I told you, was it earlier or yesterday? Yeah, I did end up taking that trade with, I gave away Josh Allen and James Conner for Justin Fields and drafted DTN. I did do that.
Say it again.
That I gave away Josh Allen and James Conner for Justin Fields and Travis Etienne.
Oh,
I did that one.
That's a smash,
earlier.
bro. That's an absolute smash. Congratulations on that. Congratulations. But look at these guys. Look at these guys sniping me right before me, Fields and Burrow. It's the cost of doing business. It's my show. You guys come first, but how am I supposed to, it's Snipe City. It's absolutely ridiculous. what do I even do here?
That's haywire.
It's,
Especially Speedy.
it's like, what are you supposed to do with that? How are you supposed to even talk up content? You're just going to get sniped left and right. Just here, kick me in the nuts over and over and over. But look at my team. My team still feels pretty good, even though I'm getting nut shots left and right. Chase, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, and DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins is not an ideal fourth drafted player, but it's Snipe City. There's no one left because everybody's taking every single player we love and hold dearly. So
I guess my white Watson's.
you know what? I'm going to do is show all of you how much I do still love Justin Herbert. Let's go Herbie here. I think I'm going to go Herbie here. Hold on. Let me just make
do
sure.
it.
Yeah, let me just show you guys how much I do like Justin Herbert. So here's the team so far. Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, DeAndre Hopkins, and Justin Herbert. So chew on that, all you, Smitty doesn't like Herbert. It's all these other guys get sniped. Give it to me. Give it to me. Let's do it live.
With DeAndre Johnson.
Mystic, you're live. Maybe you already talked. I forget.
Yeah.
What's up, Mystic? Not much. I don't retain much these days. I'm like, you guys ever heard of, in psychology, you learn about different amnesias and stuff. There's anterograde amnesia and retrograde amnesia. Anterograde is where you forget things in the past, right? So you suffer a head injury and everything before the head injury is foggy. Some of it comes back, some of it doesn't. Sometimes it's permanent. Sometimes it lasts a short period of time. That's retrograde. Anterograde is where you forget everything before, after the accident. So I hit my head today. Everything from this point forward, that means tomorrow, the next day, you forget it all. And so memento is about anterograde amnesia. But sometimes I feel like I have anterograde amnesia. Like it's like you could just clap really loud and I'm like, where am I? Let's start over. Mystic. It's not Alzheimer's. But when I see Mystic, have you talked yet? Like I can't retain anything. There's too much information going into my head constantly. There's only so much I can retain. Mystic, what else did you want to talk about?
I do have one other question. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. You're here. You're here.
Sorry.
You're doing it live.
So in the sleeper app, you're doing I do a bunch of mock drafts, pick other people. In my main redraft league, I'm at the tail end. I have the 111. So usually at the 111, I take like CD Lamb, and then in the second round, I take like Amon-Ra. I like to switch it up sometimes. I usually go double wide receiver though, because Bijan doesn't make it to me. In the third, I try to grab Gibbs if he's there. And then in the fourth, in that very early fourth, would be 402. Do you think I should just take Joe Burrow there? Because he usually, like 99% of the time, Burrow or Fields don't make it back to me at the 5.
Burrow or Fields don't make it back to you. If you said Burrow or Fields, then my show, the entire show, I just cranked out the first. How long we've been live? The first 33 minutes were about take Fields as much as you're taking Burrow going forward. Take both of them. Those are the two guys to draft. I'd like T. Law as well. But so if you're saying one doesn't fall to you, then take the other. Take whoever falls to you in round 5. And Fields in round 5 is glory, bro. Straight amazingness.
And then if both of them don't make it back to me,
then T. Law in round 6, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, he usually makes it there.
Angus dropping a super chat real quick. And then I got a pick coming up here very, very soon, I believe. Okay, so Angus is dropping his usual super chat. Appreciate you, Angus, for dropping your normal.
Angus A. Who purchased $1.99 from Angus A. Smitty, it's Angus.
Appreciate you, Angus, and your usual super chat drop today. And Okafor says, it's too late, Smitty. Your Herbert card has been revoked. Guess what? I'm taking away your Bijan card for just being a smart mouth.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
And that's not you're not getting that one back. Bill the Tickler's on the phone. Bill the Tickler. Bill, good to see you, my guy.
Take away
Good to hear you as well, my friend. Take away that Bijan card. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Bill. Bill's going to have 2 now.
I mean, so Justin Herbert, what? We take it in the 9th round. Would you take away our Justin Herbert card? Could we take it in the 9th round? I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up, Smitty.
No. You can take Herbert anywhere you want. I took Herbert in this draft. People always think I'm a Herbert hater, and I'm not at all. Herbert is a fantastic quarterback, but he just falls below Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, and Fields, and all the big dogs above him. That's it. Just until he proves himself. But when I have been sniped out of Joe Burrow, Fields, and Trevor Lawrence, Herbert's the next best guy, and I want him on my team, and I drafted him, and my team looks very, very good. Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry, who I normally don't draft, but I wanted to grab a share. It's at the tail end of the 2nd round. Hopkins there, spreading things out a little bit. TM42 dropping a super chat. Appreciate you. George Pickens getting sniped from me. You know what?
You got 2 steals.
You know what? I'm going Javonte, baby. I'm going Javonte. This is the end of round 6. Look at the squad. Herbert, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, Javonte Williams, Jamar Chase, DeAndre Hopkins. Where's the bank at? Does anybody have the address to the bank? The 24-hour bank?
Yeah.
Let me just go get an advance on this right now. Bill, what's going on? Somebody's dropping.
Address to the bank.
Oh, Bill, hold on one second. I'm sorry. Bill, hold on one second. I'm very, very sorry to interrupt you. But DW dropping gifted memberships. DW, let me see. Dropping 20 gifted memberships on screen. Like an absolute boss. Oh, hold on. I'm going to time out. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm going to cue.
Someone.
Pacheco. Did I get him? I got him.
You got him.
I'm stacking up the RBs, which is, I could have went wide receiver. Kind of should have went wide receiver, but I was going to time out, and I wanted to get a guy I wanted. I don't even know what wide receivers are available here. We'll see. We'll see if this ends up backfiring on me, but that's okay because I think I'm going to start a running back run because nobody's got RBs because I'm consuming them all. But DW, appreciate you dropping that. DW's a monster. He vanished for a couple weeks, and I got a little worried about him. We put him out on an APB. We threw the bat signal up and said, DW, where are you? We put this up for weeks. The bat signal has been up for weeks. Finally, he answers the call. Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
Forever good, Smitty. So I was curious, your take. I've noticed Drake London, wide receiver for the Falcons, is just falling and falling. He's like,
love him.
He skipped as his ADP. He stays at the top, but his ADP must be dropping soon because I just see him skip and skip and skip.
I don't know where you're seeing him skipped. I mean, we draft him heavy here. He seems like he's going in 4 or 5. He sometimes has been over Watson around 4, but he does occasionally fall in 5. But I don't know. He's getting skipped over. Depends on where you're mock drafting. If you're mock drafting on ESPN, then of course. But
no, I'm mock drafting on Yahoo. So he's like 7, 8, 9.
No, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's not where he. That's insane. That's if he goes. Look,
okay.
Look, Miss Smitty.
So the real.
I believe you.
The real question is. So if the real question is, from watching your show, if I'm left with, I take one, the other will be gone when it comes back to me. Watson or London? I take Watson over London.
I mean,
I take that because of
I do
the cues I've gotten from your show.
Yeah, but they're close. They're very close. Hold on one second, Bill. Yeah, is this my good buddy Steve? Yeah, long time buddy in my. He runs the league we do for 20 years. Let's move our league over to Yahoo immediately. Okay, move it over to Yahoo. Yeah, no, don't question why. Just move it to Yahoo. You let me worry about that. All right, thank you. Bye.
All right.
Okay, so we're moving our draft over to Yahoo because you told me London's going around what? Round what, Bill?
7, 8, 9.
That's
Smitty,
crazy.
Smitty,
That's crazy.
Smitty, don't Smitty, I didn't yell at you. Please don't yell at me.
Wait, what?
Bill Tickler.
No, Bill, I'm not yelling at you. I'm excited.
I know. And that's why I'm in trouble.
Does it sound like I'm yelling?
No,
Okay.
That's my point. When I'm on the clock and they accuse me of yelling, I'm just saying I'm excited.
Bro, all I'm trying to do is move my draft to Yahoo now. You know, Miss Smitty's work league, which I dominated all year, and then Burrow and Chase and the boys didn't play the final game, and I got screwed. But neither here nor there. I can't wait to draft on Yahoo now. If you're telling me London's gonna fall there, that's ridiculously stupid because he's really arguably a third to fourth round player.
Well, here's what so in the fourth, fifth round, I noticed if you snatch London, then Watson gets snatched. But if you snatch Watson, London will be there 2 more rounds. That's what I've noticed.
Well, keep doing it. Keep playing Yahoo as long as you can until they wake up over there.
I got one shot.
Hey,
one shot.
Yeah, hang tight real quickly. Pickens going to be top 10 wide receiver, Smitty. Well, that's why we have him on the Moonman list. They're TM42. Smitty, approve your comment, your super chat, you monster.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Pickens to the moon.
Just bad.
Look, Pickens looks like a man on a mission right now. I don't know if you guys have been watching some of the highlights in camp. This guy's been like, what's exciting about Pickens is he's taking that leadership role. He's taking that diva role. And I know we hate a lot of the diva wide receivers out there, but at the same time, you guys are all lying if you're telling me you don't actually enjoy it. And you're lying to me if you tell me you didn't enjoy Antonio Brown's antics. And you're lying to me if you tell me you want your receiver to be quiet and reserved. You want your receiver catching the football, spinning it on the ground, and starting a fire with the football and just going first down, you sons of bees. You want your wide receiver to be a dominant monster on the field. And I'm on the clock. Hold on. My team so far.
Get your popcorn ready.
I need some wide receivers pretty bad. This ain't looking good here. I'm gonna go Evan Ingram here because I don't know that I want to force this wide receiver. I do need some wide receivers bad, but this is the point where I'm like, I'm seeing guys down below that I like more than the guys anywhere in the top like 5 or 6. There's a guy I might take here in a minute. Running backs are drying up for everybody. I definitely maybe I should have won Mike Evans instead of Pacheco, but my running stable is amazing. I got Henry, Gibbs, Javonte, Pacheco, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna draft a guy here. Yeah, I'm gonna take Elijah Moore. I think Elijah Moore could be very, very, very good this year. And while he's a very risky wide receiver 3, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I think he could be the number 1 wide receiver on the Browns this year. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk, but he could be. And TMT, thank you again for that super chat. I think he could be. I think it's a possibility. Bill, did you have anything else you were wanting to ask? And Reebok, appreciate Reebok being here. More likely some running backs, premium wide receivers early, and tight ends or QBs. I mix up the strategy, Reebok. Sometimes I go wide receiver heavy, and then I scoop up a lot of Pacheco type players. And sometimes I like to get those RBs. And honestly, I feel like I can hit those deep wide receivers pretty well, so that having that deep running back stable, also eliminating a lot of the running backs on the board for my opponents too. So everybody else can play scavenger hunt for RBs. Elijah Moore's gonna have a big year. Go ahead, Bill.
I'm good, Smitty. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying just being on the line and just listening to you
yell at you.
Knowledge.
All right. Let's go over to Avi. Avi, what else you got? Phone lines are open, by the way.
Yeah, I just like that Cooper Kupp take. He's only done it 1 year. It was one amazing year, like Michael Thomas did it 1 year, and he never really did it again. So if you're taking Cooper Kupp in the first round, I think it's pretty risky. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think he's very, very risky. First round.
I think Calvin Ridley will outscore him.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley outscoring Cooper Cup.
Yeah. I think Calvin Ridley is going to be a top 5 wide receiver. I'm so pumped about it. So pumped about it.
That the what's it called? The second team is nasty in this draft. No,
Hey,
your team's very good, but I can't see it on the screen.
I'm the second team.
No, I know your team, but the team right next to it. I know your team's like top 3 easily. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, so the team 1's got J.J. Ridley, Breece Hall, DJ Moore, Trevor Lawrence, James Conner, Addison. Team 3 is Speedy, who he drafts strictly off the bold predictions list. Yeah, he doesn't stray at all. He's got Bijan, Pollard, Devontae Smith, Burrow, Pickens, Kamara. Yeah, these are all pretty good teams. Let me go on over to Okafor real quick. Okafor, how's it feel not to have your Bijan card?
Smitty, I'm down like 3 Bijan cards, man.
That's true.
I'm like a -3. I've been dead. Okay. Who comes to you here then? Is it the?
What are you talking about?
The PPP?
I don't know what you're saying.
They'll be coming after me since I can't pay off my Bijan cards
okay.
yet.
What can I do for you, Okafor? You're live.
All right. So, a couple things. One, did you hear about, there's like a clip of an analyst going around. Some analyst is saying Rashad White is better than Bijan, Gibbs, and Breece.
Rashad White?
Yeah.
I mean, look.
I don't know,
yeah, that's
Jimmy is pulling.
That's blasphemy.
Yeah, I don't know if Jimmy's pulling string,
Yeah.
Or if he's,
I mean, some people hit their head, bro, and they still have a show. You can't take away their show just because they hit their head. But I would say, like, just in defense of Rashad White, I like Rashad White a lot. I love Rashad White. He's in a horrible situation where he could quite possibly average, like, below 4 yards per carry and it not be his fault at all. I think let me just see real quick who I want to make a pick here. Lazard, Zay Jones. I like Zay Jones a lot.
Big Zay.
Yeah, I think he's the most he's the safest guy to get into my wide receiver room. I like Rashad White a lot. He's very talented and he's from ASU. I watched him play probably more than anybody. And he was on the Moon Men list for a reason, bro. Like we loved Rashad White last year. Problem is, it's going to be hard for him to get in the end zone when you're nowhere near it. Problem is, they're going to be 3 and out. Problem is, they're going to be throwing the ball in the third and fourth quarter. And maybe that's good for him in some respects because he's going to catch a lot of passes. But you still got to have good thrown passes in order to produce PPR work on a team that's down and throwing all the time. Doesn't just absolutely, guarantee you, the production just because you're throwing from behind. I'm going to take Romeo Doubs here just in case he ends up being a little gem. My team's pretty good so far. I'm definitely thin at wide receiver, but I like the way it's built. I got Herbert, I got Henry, I got Gibbs, I got Javonte, I got Pacheco, I got Chase, I got Hopkins, I got Elijah Moore, I got Zay Jones, Romeo Doubs, I got Evan Ingram. I think I'm pretty balanced. I'm a little weak at wide receiver 3-4, but that's okay. You create, when you go best player available, even in best ball, you create a void for yourself. But I'm very, very, very solid everywhere else, and I very much am a type of person that when I draft, I'd rather have one hole in the team that I work on all year than have 2 or 3, That's the way best player usually sets you up. You smash every position but maybe one draft slot, and then you just work on it all year. Like if Elijah Moore, Zay Jones, or Romeo Doubs, or another player I draft later fill that hole really well, then it's game over, baby. That's the way you got to draft. What were we talking about? Okafor, what were we talking about?
Rashad White.
Oh, yeah, White. So, yeah, that's a ridiculous claim. Better than Gibbs, better than Bijan, better than... Like even if he was traded to a great situation, that would be a crazy take. But he's in a horrible situation. How in the hell is he going to be better than any of those guys? Even if he was better, you're not going to see that player. You're going to see a player that's like trying to do it all. It's crazy. It's insane, bro.
I don't know. I don't know if it was for clicks or what, but it reminded me of Jimmy the other day. I was like, hey, maybe Jimmy's a visionary. Maybe Jimmy's ahead of the curve.
Well, Jimmy doesn't hear you. He's got wax in his ears because Jimmy hears that I don't like Rashad White. That's not what I'm saying. But Jimmy thinks he belongs in the 3rd and 4th round. No matter what you tell him, like, hey, Jimmy, guess what? Good news, pal. He's going in the 80s. In a lot of platforms. Take advantage of it. All Jimmy hears is, nope, he's not going in the 80s. He's a 30 or 40 overall player. It's like, okay, maybe with the wrong setting on ESPN, maybe he is. Maybe he is in 2 point per reception for Tampa Bay players only. Maybe he's in the 30s. Jimmy.
Yeah, it's he's at like 35.
I love Rashad White from last year in your pick, Schmitty, and to pair him with another late rounder, Brian Robinson. I think because you gave me the heads up of put him on your reserve injured list. It paid dividends, and I think he's being forgotten about and overlooked.
He
Both
could
Brian
be.
Robinson and Rashad White. Those are your picks. You had late year picks of hey, you're scrambling, you're looking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at. I hate to break your heart too. I'm not as high on him this year, but I do like him. He's a hard running player, but I don't know what to expect. Out of him this year.
I challenge you to break my heart, Schmitty. Come on.
Yeah. But it's not that I don't. It's not that I hate him. I'm just not super high on him this year. I think he was a good player to grab and stash last year.
I'm not saying as a one. I'm not saying as a 1-2, but
I know.
when you're drafting,
I just want the people to know because they're hearing that and they're like, "Oh, this guy Smitty loves Brian Robinson." I kind of don't right now, but last year he was a great stash. I mean, and there's a lot of upside there.
But if I draft a QB like Fields, who has a bye week in 13 and he stays healthy, then I don't have to draft another QB, in a 15 rostered league.
Yes, sir.
And then, then I can have those positions on my roster.
Yes, sir.
Right?
You know who I love over like Brian Robinson. If I had to give you a couple names, like Jerick McKinnon, who's going around, I don't know where he's really going. He falls all over, but I think we're reaching on him here. But he's in double-digit rounds for sure. But he's a guy that I love.
And so is Wilson in Miami. But if I have Robinson, but I get like my last pick before I take the dreaded kicker and defense. If I take Antonio Gibson to cuff with Robinson, It doesn't have the worst outcome. It could not play in my favor, but the other side of that is, hey, oops, I won a championship.
Hey, anybody wants to get their running back Bijan running back 1 apparel that I'm wearing right now. It's in the merch store. The merch store can be found on my YouTube channel by clicking on the store tab on YouTube, or you can go to thefantasyfootballshow.com/merch. Pretty easy. Just go to the YouTube channel and click on the tab that says merch. But and you can locate that right here. Let me show you guys. You can locate that right here. So if you click the join button, you can become a YouTube exclusive member. The $1.99 and the $9.99 Zoom group. But you could also click the store tab that's right next to the membership button. That's how you get to the merch. Just in case you didn't know. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill, or go ahead, Okafor, or go ahead, Avi, whoever wants to interrupt. Jump in.
All right. Please. I got one more thing. So you're in Arizona, right?
Yes.
I imagine you got antennas, particularly sensitive antennas when it goes on to what's happening with the Cardinals.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's painful.
The question: what are your thoughts on Michael Wilson?
Love him. He's the only player I'll draft on Arizona.
No.
Only player.
Okay.
Love him. I'd even draft him and redraft at the end of the draft, like round 18, round 17. But in Dynasty, I like him a lot. Now, if the Cardinals get the number 1 and the number 2 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft, which Vegas, I don't know if Vegas changed it, but they had the odds of the Cardinals getting the number 1 and the number 2 overall pick, because we have the Houston Texans pick from that trade down this last draft. And so they're projecting the Cardinals to get the 1 and 2. That means we take Caleb and we trade Kyler and we would draft Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, unless we're idiots, which we might be. But that would be phenomenal. And so my point being that Michael Wilson would kind of fall to the wayside a little bit. Not a lot, because I still think he's very talented. But if, let's say, the Cardinals got the 1 pick, but then the Texans surprised and had like the number 8 pick, let's say, or 10 pick, or 12 pick, or whatever, then the Cardinals couldn't take Marvin Harrison Jr., but they still took Caleb and then traded Kyler. That's really good for Michael Wilson. So there's a lot of different variables.
Yeah.
I have a question. Ready?
Go ahead, Bill.
I'm feeling like listening to you, the James Conner is only worth finding on the waiver wire week 3.
No, he's not waiver wire fodder, but I'm certainly not. Where did James Conner go in this draft? We're not as high.
He's not waiver wire fodder, but I bet you if he gets drafted in most leagues by week 4, he'll be on the waiver wire.
I don't know. It depends if he gets hurt or something. He's probably not getting cut by anybody, but it depends on if he's hurt by then. Where did he go in this draft? James Conner, where did he go?
Why would he
Has
get
he gone
cut?
yet?
Yeah,
Has he gone yet?
He's not getting cut in real life. I'm saying he's saying in fantasy.
Yeah.
He's on waiver. No, he went in the 6th round. He went at 72 overall, which was the end of the 6th round. I think people are going to be more patient with him than that, Bill.
So,
but I don't like him here. I don't like him here. I draft Javonte over him. I draft Pacheco over him. I draft Kamara over him. I draft Monty over him. I'm going to time out. Son of a B. Son of a B. No. Who'd I get? KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne. Oh, Bill, you made me. Bill, I blame Bill.
Get it now, Bill.
Hey.
Get it now, Bill.
Yes, and I'm channeling Denny.
Bill owes me $10 for this draft. Bill, when I come to your restaurant next, I want that means it's just a little sliver.
$100 steak.
No. If you take one of his $100 steaks, you just give me a little sliver. We're even. Just a little, like a quarter of a bite.
Hey, Smitty, I tuned in last night. I heard you asking for a steak dinner with me. Since you got a burger and a milkshake, you're worldwide, baby.
Yeah, I'm going back. If I'm back in Vegas, I'm going to Bill's restaurant. I'm bottom line. That's the best steak I've ever had in my life.
Bill's restaurant may be different. Bill doesn't hold his tongue, and Bill stands his ground. So,
I'm gonna time out again, Bill. Bill, I'm gonna time out again. Hodgins, I'll take Hodgins.
The hell.
Yeah, Bill butts his head with management. So, Smitty, next time you come, we may have a different scene, but I will always give you good food.
What do you mean? What do you mean a different scene? What do you mean? What's happening to the restaurant, Bill?
Late last night I got suspended for 2 weeks.
For what?
Have you met me, Smitty?
was it for tickling?
No, it was for billing.
It was for what?
No,
you don't have to say it on the air. If you don't want to talk about it on the air, you don't have to talk about it.
Now we're good. We're good. But I don't want to take up the time on the air.
Well, no, I
That's
just
not
like
worth it.
this is like shocking to me. You're one of the best servers I've ever seen in action. I'm not just saying that. Bill was amazing. Bill was amazing. How could you be suspended?
Well, because Smitty, because my mouth don't stop, and I know you and your the chat, the listeners, Ron Navy, everybody in the fucking sorry. Sorry for that. I'm so sorry.
No.
Smitty, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. What happened? What happened? What happened?
I just.
You said the
I've
wrong.
always stood my ground, but as I grow into the business,
You just said the wrong
things
thing to
happen.
you said the wrong thing to the wrong person.
Actually, no. I didn't cave into the right person.
Mm.
But nonetheless, Smitty, this is not about me.
I'm so disappointed. Are you going somewhere else then? Is that what you're trying to tell us? You're not going to be at a different restaurant?
Well, no, I'm not. No, I was told I was given 2 weeks off. I'm suspended. So,
All right.
I think they wanted to quit, but however, the tickler within shall never quit.
Yeah, don't ever give up, Tickler. Don't ever stop tickling, pal.
Never. And I want to you and Ron Navy. As much as Bill chuckles Bill sounded nice. Bill the Tickler, that's not my design, but that is certainly my
Bill.
That's
Bill,
my given. That's
you
my,
didn't
that's
get
my given right by you.
Just be honest with me. You didn't get in trouble because of the name Bill the Tickler. Just tell me that.
Oh God! Oh, no!
I got
in trouble because the guy I bet decades before we ever found past, my friend. Don't you worry.
All right.
Hey. Nah,
Yeah, I think Bill racked up such a tab on my dinner that he comped the ownership.
Oh man,
no.
They're probably
no, they wait.
they're probably like, give this man a swordfish for goodness sake. Why are you giving him the $100 meat?
Oh, Schmitty, never, my friend. And Schmitty and Miss Schmitty, and you know what? Smash the like button. Seriously, this program is such a community, and it's fun, and the knowledge he drops. But how he involves his listeners and callers, and
Poor
never, even though who he times out, he lets them all back in.
Hey, Bill, don't.
This is the most unique thing.
I appreciate
ever.
that. You don't need to pump me up, Bill. We're here to pump you up. We need you to stay where you are at, or you're at. The best steaks ever. I don't need you going anywhere. You need me to talk to somebody. You let them know. You let them know that we stand behind you. There's 200 people in here that need Bill the Tickler in that restaurant tomorrow morning. Like, what is going on here? This is not.
we need him.
This is not acceptable.
You got 200 people. How many thumbs up? Come on. No.
That's
Boys
true. 80 thumbs up. Let's see how many.
You can't have 200 people and 87 thumbs up. Stop.
Drop a thumb up.
150 thumbs up.
Drop a thumb up for Bill. Drop a thumb up for Bill. If you support Bill the Tickler and you want to show everybody that's judging him right now, I want that thumb up button to skyrocket. We got 200 people in here. If you approve Bill the Tickler, you hit that thumb up button. Let's show everybody who's boss here. Don't show up with 5 thumbs up, please. let's pump that number up. Let's see how high Bill the Tickler's fan. We got 4. We got 4. Hold on, Bill. 4 people support you. Come on, guys. Punch the thumb up button for Bill. Do it for Bill.
Do it now.
87. Okay, we got 7. There you go. It's going. It's gonna be above 100 before you know it. I know it. I know it, Bill. Everybody's here for you. Man, that's just.
Schmitty,
that's crazy.
Schmitty, Pat actually has nothing on you because he never has the organic that you are. Period.
Well, let's get there then. Let's get to the Pat McAfee level. Let's get to the point where I have to say yes to a $40 million a year deal and disappoint all you. We got another super chat in the building here. Hold on. Let's see here. We got Doc calling in as well. Hold on one second, Doc. Let me just hit this real quick. Owen's dropping a super chat. Owen says, seeing Tyler Algier getting a large amount of first-team reps. I love Bijan, the talent, but his situation, even though his run heavy, does not feel ideal. I couldn't disagree more. I appreciate you, Owen, but the fact that you're even worried about what you're seeing in camp when they're trying to do, who knows what the plan was at that moment in time and what they're trying to accomplish, you know what I mean? Bijan could be, practicing this or practicing that, or there could be reasons why that's occurring. He could have soreness from being overworked. They're lining Bijan up all over the field. Don't worry about Tyler Algier. We're talking about a team that was the number one rushing team in the entire National Football League. No one's talking about Eli Mitchell taken away from Christian McCaffrey, and we're talking about Algier. Not a game, practice. We're talking about practice, Owen. Not a game, practice. We're not talking about an elite player. We're talking about Algier. So, Owen, no. There's not ideal is not in the vocabulary when referencing Bijan Robinson's situation. When this team is the number one rushing team in the National Football League in terms of attempts, they're first. They're first in terms of attempts. They're third in rushing yards. They're fourth in yards per carry before Bijan. They're third before Bijan. They're first before Bijan. They're top 10 in TDs. They're top 10 in 20-plus yards. They're fourth in 40-plus yards before Bijan. I'm not worried about Tyler Algier in the slightest. Owen, I love you, pal. I love you. I'm not mad at you. But to suggest that it's not ideal because of Tyler Algier gets Bijan coffee. Go get him a coffee now, Tyler. Now. Not later. Go get Bijan a coffee now. That's what Tyler Algier's on the team for at this point. Owen, that's all I'm saying. I love you, pal, though. Not mad at you.
Draft's almost over.
I can't imagine being scared about Algier. Like, we liked Algier. He's a very exciting player. We loved him. I think he was on the Moon Man list, wasn't he? So, we obviously loved his value. Yeah. And he's a good player, but he's like a D actor, trying out for Braveheart Part 2. He's going to be in the B roll. He's not going to be in the main scenes. Come on. Hold. Hold.
Smith.
Yes.
What do we do with Cordell Patterson? What do we do with Taysom Hill? Do we let them sit on the waiver wires and pick them up 7-8, and wait? What do we do?
I mean, it depends on your league, but I love Taysom Hill as a second or third tight end. In best ball, I draft 3 tight ends sometimes, and that's what I would do if he was available. I gobbled up all the. I took a big risk in leaving my wide receiver 3 wide open. Look how many wide receivers I drafted. I timed out on KJ Osborne. I would have drafted another RB with that spot, but I took Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs. I took Elijah Moore, Zay Jones, Jonathan Mingo, Isaiah Hodgins, Terrence Marshall. I got Ingram and Musgrave. I've got Herbert and Desmond Ridder. Don't love my quarterback backup. This wasn't the most ideal drafts, honestly. Let's drop a Garrett Wilson draft. We haven't done a Garrett Wilson draft in a while. This is going to be a slow draft. It's not something that I'm going to stay on live for the entire time, but it's a $3 slow draft. Garrett Wilson autograph jersey draft. Here's that. On the phone line, just hang tight, guys, while I play this real quick, if you don't mind. It's time to give away a signed Garrett Wilson jersey. I think so. If you want a chance to win this beauty right here, Garrett Wilson autographed jersey.
Smitty, that's mine. What do I got to do to win it? Tell me now.
First, I'm going to say underdog fantasy promo code Smitty. Second, I'm going to say, starting after the NFL draft, we will be doing private drafts mostly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays around midnight to 12:30 a.m. Eastern. And every time I drop a private draft link, aka Battle of the Moon Men is what we call this tournament. Every time I drop a private draft link, said draft link will be kept track of. Your boy Smitty will have the boys at Underdog keeping track of every league that I give them a link for that is included in said Battle of Moon Men. Then at the end of week 14, Underdog will let us know where the which video one is wrong. It's at the end of week 17. We thought we were going to have to do it at week 14 before I actually launched it, and then right at the 11th hour they said let's do week 17. We can do it. So week 17, I dropped the link in the live chat right now. 5 more to start. This is a slow draft, and it isn't. If you win this particular draft, you're not winning the Garrett Wilson jersey in this specific draft right here. It's all of the Garrett Wilson drafts, which we have about 30 of them. The winner, the highest scoring team from all of those leagues that are just these $3 drafts, is going to win the autographed Garrett Wilson jersey, as well as co-host a show with me if you want to do it on the phone like this right here where you're not on camera, or you can do it on camera if you want. You can co-host at least a couple segments, a big part of the show. And then also, we might have some other things in the mix, lifetime membership to the Fantasy Football Show, content membership, things like that. And you get a chance in every one of these drafts. It's not like if you played in all 30 for $3, like that's an expensive jersey, Smitty. I could just go buy it, for $90 or whatever. You could argue that, but at the same time, you could also win in every one of these drafts. Even though it's a smaller prize, these aren't the big best ball drafts. First place gets $20 every time you win one group of 12. So you could literally rack up to the $20 as well playing the $3 draft. So it's not like you're just throwing your money away for the Garrett Wilson autographed jersey. You're trying to win the money in these smaller type drafts as well. 2 more to start. Again, I'll leave it up for a few minutes as we talk. Doc, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Doc, what's up, Doc?
What's going on, Smitty? This might be the funniest way I'm about to speak on your show, but literally I was checking back in on your show, and all I hear is Bill the Tickler.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. I know I'm new to the show. I know we give nicknames, but you piqued my interest, and hey, the way you were talking about, like, okay, why are we calling this man the Tickler? Like, what's going on?
Bill.
Look, I don't know what time zone you're in, but it's 1 o'clock. I know things can get crazy at night. You don't have to tell me.
What up, Doc? Hey, what up, Doc?
Hey, who am I talking to?
This is Bill. Hey, hold on. Doc and Bill, be quiet real quickly. Does anybody know a good joke? A clean joke? Anybody got a clean joke? Anybody?
God.
Clean.
Can it be a dad joke?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell it. Let's see if we can get Bill to laugh. Go ahead.
All right. What do you call the smartest dinosaur that ever lived?
What?
What do you call the smartest dinosaur that ever lived?
What?
A thesaurus.
A thesaurus.
That didn't make Bill laugh. But Bill laughed. I don't know if you heard Bill laugh a little bit right before that. But Bill,
I did. I heard.
So Bill called in one time, and I don't know what I said, but Bill started laughing so long, and it was like it sounded like a lawnmower starting up, and we're all, what is that? We're like, what is that? Bill started laughing. It was the longest laugh, the craziest laugh we'd ever heard. It sounded like he was being tickled to death. So we.
Oh look! Yeah. Hey, Thesaurus Jr., I hear you, bro.
I'm loving it. That is great.
So Doc, I went into Bill the Tickler's restaurant.
Doc.
And I started calling him Bill the Tickler, and like the hostess was like, "What? Like what in the hell is going on here?" And he told her in advance, they're gonna call me Bill the Tickler, just so you know. And everyone's like, "What in the hell is going on here?" But Bill, I tried to change it.
Hey, Schmitty.
Yeah.
Schmitty, so I appreciate. So Schmitty just said he walked in and started calling me Bill the Tickler, and everybody was like, "What the?" But Schmitty walked in, and I started calling him Schmitty, and I was awestruck, and I was like, "Oh, Schmitty's here. Schmitty follow through. Schmitty always follows."
I don't know what I don't know what made you think I was.
I know you don't like that. Oh, hit that thumbs up button, damn it!
I don't know what made you thought I wasn't going to show up for $100 steak, Bill. but I showed right up. Miss Smitty and I had a great time. This guy was the best server that I've had, and he sat us in this beautiful table in front of this amazing fire. It was a high scale restaurant. I'm wearing a hat and shorts. I think I was wearing shorts. I show up from my live stream with my pool attire.
Freddie, you remember we walk over to the steaks and you put your hat. I said, "Oh, you wearing the hat?" He said, "You got a problem with that?" I said, "No." No problem. No problem.
I'm wearing a hat.
What's the name of the restaurant?
Doc, are you getting this? You get Doc, are you getting the sense, Doc, of why we call him Bill the Tickler?
Yeah, I got it now. I'm actually very at ease now. Like, whoo, okay.
Hey, Bill.
We're good.
Or Doc, I went to.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
Smitty, I'm on. Hey, Doc, are you friends with B-ball and? Are you in that league? I'm getting a sense that you're an outside guy too.
I don't know what Bill's
B-ball
saying.
and oh God, who's B-ball's friend?
I don't know what he's saying, Doc.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm like, who's Debo?
What are we talking about? Talking about Debo Samuel?
Yeah,
no,
I was
B-ball.
literally asking, wait, you're asking if I know what?
B-ball. B-ball is community, and he's in the community with Rockout.
I don't know. I'm not following either. Hey, real quick, let's
My bad.
That's right. Hey, let's circle back. Focus, Bill. So, anyways, Bill sits
because focus is what I'm known for, Smitty. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, Doc, I show up to his restaurant, Doc. Oh no! First of all, I go to Miss. No, hold on. Doc, I went to Miss Smitty right before we left for Vegas, and I said, "Hey, we're going to Bill the Tickler's restaurant," and she said, "We're what?" And I said, "We're going to Bill the Tickler's restaurant, and he's going to serve us some steaks." And she's like, "I don't think I'm eating a steak from a guy named Bill the Tickler. Is this being served out of a van with no windows? Like, what do you expect me to do?" And I said, "Don't worry.
Poor Smitty.
Yeah. I said, "Don't worry." I gave him the nickname, and she's like, "Okay, well, I trust you. If you think that we're not gonna get poisoned or chloroformed, when we're eating the steak, I'll go ahead." Miss Smitty said, "Let's go." So we went, and I'm telling.
Hold on.
Good Lord.
And Doc,
what's the name of your restaurant, Bill?
The name is 138. I know Schmitty said 138. The name is 138.
Okay. Well, next time I'm in Vegas, I'm gonna have to come check you out, man.
Hey, make sure you bring your credit card because it's $100 a steak, pal. It's but it's the best steak Doc. It's the best steak I've ever had in my life. The $70 steak was better.
Is it A5? Like what kind of cut is it?
Tell him, Bill.
I had multiple. We got to rewind to earlier in this program this evening, and I just got put on suspension. So my point is, if I end up at a restaurant, and whoever you are, if you're listening to this program, if you come see Bill, if I'm working somewhere and I'm serving you, it'll be fine, and it might be a pasta place because things went a little south. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a little too much.
If I say Bill the Tickler sent me, will I get a discount?
They'll send you to the other restaurant, I think. You know what?
Or is it even a restaurant?
Hey, Doc, Doc, you know what they're probably going to say if you show up and you say, I'm here for Bill the Tickler? I'm here to – they're going to say, hey, can you pay the Smitty's tab? He never paid it.
Oh, wow.
I racked up like a $200 bill, and Bill just shooed me away. He just said, I got this. And then the next thing he suspended. Like, what am I supposed to make of that? I go to his restaurant. I spend he orders for me. I didn't want to have $250 in steaks or whatever it was. And Bill's like, I got you. And then literally a couple weeks later, he's suspended.
Smitty, tell the forum, the community here the truth. So Smitty came back at me after he left. He's like, sorry, I don't think I took care of you. And I said, Smitty, we're good. Don't you worry about it.
I mean, we left a tip, but I felt like I should have left even a bigger tip.
Smitty, if I handed you $50, you could say, I don't think I took care. I said, no, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
I'm just making sure because he wanted to comp the whole thing, but I wasn't gonna not tip him a nice tip, so we tipped him. But look, out the cost of, I don't even know what the cost was. It probably was, I don't know, $50 on that was probably like 10% of the dinner.
Honestly, you real quick, you left it on the mark. What you left was what the bill was. You left it right on the mark.
Okay, appreciate you. But anyways, Doc.
But that was never ever expected.
Doc,
Never,
this
ever,
was
never wanted.
This was the $70 steak was the best steak I've ever had in my entire life. And when I sat down, I go, Bill, is this a famous seat? Like, is it? Because you said this is the best seat in the house. I said, is anybody famous sat in it? He goes, you, baby. he walks away.
Hey, Bill, that is that is top tier hospitality, sir.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Honestly, anybody that suspended you should be ashamed of themselves because you are a fantastic server. I must say, Bill. I must say that the next place is lucky to have you. I hope to God you don't have to leave that place though.
I appreciate the community, and I've always done top class hospitality. But when you're doing top class hospitality, when you have top class guests like yourself, it's just academic at that point. So,
hey, I'm probably gonna wrap it up here, guys. Yeah. What's up, Rockout?
I'm about to go to bed, so later. Justin Fields.
What's your thoughts on Kittle if Purdy's healthy?
Avi, we'll see you later, pal. Go hit the rack, man. Avi just left. What are my thoughts on Kittle?
If Purdy's healthy.
Yeah, hold on. Let me put this 818 caller. Who are you, and where are you calling from?
Like 2 years. I'm from California.
Spencer from California. What's up, my guy? Hang tight real quickly and let me finish with Rockout and I'll swing over to you. Rockout, I think Kittle I think Kittle is a tough player for me to draft because I love the depth at the position this year. I think because of Okonkwo and Kincaid and even Waller. Like Waller's such a better pick than Kittle, and he's going so much later that I'd rather have Waller, who's going to be the clear number one wide receiver for the Giants. He's the clear pass catcher, and Kittle's sharing it with a whole plethora of players, including the running back that is one of the best PPR guys in the game. And you got a guy coming back from a torn UCL, and he's there's a lot of tape on him now, and he kind of got figured out at the end, and his arm's like mediocre right now. At best, because it was mediocre before he tore anything, so I'm definitely not on the Purdy train. I think Purdy's got some upside for sure. I'll wait and see what happens, but give me Waller all day long over Kittle, all day.
Hey, Smitty, how do you feel about, what's his name, the wide receiver they drafted, Hyman, the Giants?
Hyatt.
Hyatt.
Heinlein maneuver.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I'll be
Hyatt.
honest, I kind of like him. He's on my personal sleeper list. I kind of like him.
You might want to. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Hyatt. Make sure you spell it right, though, when you're looking for him, or you won't be able to find him when you search.
Hyatt.
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 Hyman.
Jalen
H-A-T-T-T-Y.
Yeah, bro, definitely Hyatt's a nice little sleeper. Best wide receiver prospect on the team, for sure. But I do think Waller leads the team in pretty much all the categories. But it doesn't mean Hyatt isn't looking like. Keep in mind, like, how good was Watson last year and Jahan Dotson? Pretty damn good, right? But they still only had about 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. So Hyatt might get on his horse week 7, week 8, week 9, and he has a really strong finish. But at the end of the day, he'd be lucky to get 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns or 8 touchdowns or 7 touchdowns. I think Waller gets that. So yeah, wide receiver wise, I do like him a lot.
Also, something else, I also like him because just in case. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you. I was saying, if Waller gets injured, I think his potential really can kind of go through the roof. So I really like him.
True.
Late.
Kind of a good cuff in a way, because if one's popping off, then you're not worried about the other, and if one gets hurt, then the other is going to eat a little more, especially if it is Waller getting hurt. You're right. It's a good point. Good point, Doc.
Yeah.
All right, Doc. Any final thoughts? I'm gonna cycle everybody off the phone line. I'm gonna get out of here. Any final thoughts, Doc? Okay.
No, I'm actually doing a mock draft right now. I've got Hurts, AJ Brown, Nick Chubb, and Jahmyr Gibbs so far. So
nice, bro. Really good. All right, Doc. Appreciate you calling in. Call in tomorrow. Okay, we'll be live at least a couple times tomorrow.
All right, sounds great, buddy.
All right, later. Let's go over to Spencer from Cali, who hasn't called in for a while. I don't know why. No excuse, Spencer. You got to be here more often, okay? What can we do for you?
Eddie, you got me. 2 years ago, I had a busted-ass knee, and I had all the time in the world, and I was calling in left and right. And last year, I hopped on my horse and got back on the work train, so I was a little out of it from calling and just watching videos instead of live stream.
That's all right.
But you won me my dynasty league last year. When you hear this team, like I need some trade advice. I got too many guys. I need to get some top tier guys because I got too many of the moon men from last year, and I need some trade advice.
Okay.
You got time for that?
Yeah, hit me with it.
So,
let me throw these super chats. You guys are there's some super chats on screen. I haven't got to yet. I'm throwing them down right here. And I'm going to get to these before I get off, I promise you. So keep dropping them if you got any super chats. Mr. Punch, I got you. Just wait 1 second. Go ahead with your dynasty trade, Spencer. We got you.
all right. So it's a super flex league with 2 flex spots, and actually it's got 2 tight end spots as well. But the team is Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields are the starting quarterbacks. I got ETN, Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, Breece Hall, McKinnon, Rashad White for running backs. Like, it's ridiculous. And then I also have St. Brown, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley,
Come on,
Bucket. Oh, sorry. Hopkins and Terry McLaurin, wide receivers. I got too many guys. I can't even start them all.
How many people are in this league? 2?
10. It's
Okay.
a 10-man league. I think a lot of the guys, it was their first time doing Dynasty, so I was able to capitalize. I was able to capitalize on a lot there. And I was able – someone dropped Justin Fields in the league. They might have been a grandma.
Come on, bro. Drop Justin Fields. It's just getting worse and worse. This is a dynasty league, and Justin Fields gets dropped. These are corpses. You're drafting with corpses, bro.
I did it the right way.
You know when you said you got injured and you couldn't work, but you're back at work? You work at a morgue. You work at a morgue, and you're drafting against dead bodies, bro. Like, there's no way Justin Fields...
I just work at a steakhouse.
This guy walks... You work at a steakhouse?
I do.
Bill, I got to introduce you to. Bill's moving.
Hey, I got Bill.
Hey,
Don't worry.
Spencer. Hey, Spencer, minus 2 years. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Just
Is that
trying to, keep my trouble just like you. You know how it goes in the restaurant industry.
He's like, Dad?
I certainly do, and it does. my buddy Smitty. This is not competition. This is the family. You're gonna be fed. You're gonna be fed for life.
These guys might be related. Hey, Spencer, laugh real quick. Let's just see if the. Oh my God, that laugh was very similar. Spencer, no way. Wait a minute. Hey, where was Spencer? Where were you born? What state were you born?
I was born in California. I'm
About what?
I live out in North.
About what year were you born?
95.
Bill the Tickler, were you in California in 95?
I was not. I haven't been in California yet.
I'm sorry. Can I get the chat to confirm that this is the same exact laugh?
No, hey, calm down. Hey, you calm down. Was I in 95? No, I actually wasn't.
This is the same laugh.
First time.
Oh my!
I can't even tell. I can't even tell who's who.
Oh no!
Oh man, Spencer the Tickler.
My boy.
Spencer the Tickler and Bill the Tickler.
Smitty, cut it out. Smitty,
Okay,
act right.
sorry.
Be right, bro.
I'm sorry, Spencer the Tickler Jr. What is the trade?
Oh poop.
What's the trade?
Spencer, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Spencer.
He's sorry for walking out. He's sorry for walking out and getting iced that one night.
I'm sorry. Smitty, come, geez.
Okay, go ahead, Spencer. What's the trade, Spencer?
So I don't have a trade going yet. I need to move some guys. I need to take two of these guys and grab like a Bijan, grab somebody top tier, keep the wins rolling. I don't want to just win the first year and then kind of lose out in the playoffs every year after this. Because I feel like the team's good, it's great, but I'm gonna get stuck every week just calling and be like, Smitty, who do I start this week?
Okay, you said you had Hopkins as well, right?
Yeah, I do have D Hop. He's on the bench because
Okay.
I got it's 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. I got 2 tight ends. My tight end's probably the weakest spot. My best tight end's Kincaid. I drafted him this year with the last pick in the first round.
I love Kincaid. Okay, so first of all, you're not losing with this team. Bill the Tickler raised you right. You're a smart kid. You got a nice head on your shoulders. You built a very good team. I have to say, this being Superflex, you can't touch Fields and Hurts. This is Superflex, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you can't.
But I have no backup.
Doesn't matter, bro. It's phenomenal. Go look for Sam Howell on waivers. I bet you he's sitting there in this league.
I wish.
These running backs are really, really solid. I don't know that you need to do anything here. St. Brown and Ridley, you don't need to do anything necessarily here. Where I would mess around with this would be in the realm of DK and Hopkins together. As much as I love Javonte, you could play off of the news, or if he starts looking good or something, you could potentially try and trade like a DK and Javonte and try and get into a Gibbs or a Bijan. Giving up future picks. I give up DK and Hopkins or DK and McLaurin and a future pick or a couple future picks to get Bijan or Gibbs. I mean, that's the only thing you can really do. You could try and trade ETN and a future pick for Bijan, ETN and a future pick for Gibbs. But
yeah, I was messing around. I was messing around with trade calcs on your website.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like ETN, because I also have Rashad White. That's also on the bench too. That's deep down there.
That's a
I was
good
thinking,
trade
like,
piece.
ETN,
Yeah.
Rashad White for like a Bijan. You think that would fly, or do you think I need to give him more?
Rashad White and who?
ETN.
Yeah, you can't probably get Bijan for that, but I mean, this league you never know. I would give up DK, Rashad White, and so DK, Rashad White, and who else? Who were you going to Etienne, DK, Rashad White for Bijan. I would give all that for Bijan with your team. With your team, I mean, look at your team. Look at your team.
Okay.
I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying, like, I just want you to know how much I value Bijan, especially when you're oversaturated with talent. You can afford to overpay. DK. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't ask for anybody back. I'm just trying to emphasize. But ETN and Rashad White, try there, and then if you can, give up McLaurin. Don't give up DK, I suppose. Give up McLaurin, who's not a spring chicken. McLaurin, ETN, Rashad White, a second rounder for Bijan. But at the end of the day, you have bench guys. You're not touching your lineup. You're upgrading your lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Matt, we'll see you later, pal.
I just wanted to get the Smitty approval before I start sending away.
All right. Hey, I got to get to these super chats and get off the phone line. So Spencer and Bill, appreciate you both stopping by. We need to reunite you guys somehow, some way, but very, very good to talk to both of you. And Bill, I would call back tomorrow, Bill. I want to find out how you're doing, and hopefully you get back into the swing of things quick.
Be good. Love you, Smitty.
All right. What, Spencer?
I said appreciate it. You have a good night. Thank you.
Right. Bill, appreciate you, Bill. Bill's still listening. Appreciate you. Later, Spencer. See you later.
Stickler.
Yeah, man. That rock out. Did they not sound identical?
Yeah.
I'm not buying that one. Bill said he wasn't in Cali in '95, but 95 was a long time ago. I don't know where I was in '95, so I could see Bill maybe misremembering that one.
I was a young kid in '95.
You notice how Bill said no right away? He's like, nope.
Nope.
Hey, Bill, nope. Bill, appreciate you. Everybody drop a thumb up for Bill. Everybody drop a prayer emoji for Bill right now. Because
Bill.
Yeah, Bill got suspended and he needs our help. Drop a prayer emoji. We want Bill to get his job, keep his job. And we also want Bill, if he does end up venturing somewhere else, to find and land somewhere amazing. Because Bill is an amazing dude. And Bill, we're sending Bill to the moon. All right, rock out. Appreciate you. I got to get to these super chats and get to bed early tonight. Anything else you wanted to ask her?
One more question. Depending on how the setup, how you determine if you want to take Terry or Dotson. I usually just take Dotson.
Yeah, I do. I know not everybody feels that way, but I take Jahan Dotson all day long over Scary Terry. I know a lot of people disagree, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's like 2-3 rounds.
He's on his way. He's on his way, bro. He's on his way. All right, rock out. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, see you
later. Rock out to the moon. Appreciate rock out. Tyler says I'm drunk but draft Fields. Thank you, Tyler, for everything. Sorry I made you wait on this. Appreciate you. Garrett dropped a super chat here. Garrett said, "Would you do a CFB league on Fantrax and I join ASAP?" No, I only dropped on Underdog, Garrett, but I appreciate you. Tyler Algier is getting a large amount of work. I think I already answered this one from Owen. Owen, I appreciate you. Mr. Punch, are you still here? Where's Mr. Punch at? Let me see if Mr. Punch is still here. Smitty, when you get a chance, can you scroll up for my super chat? Yes, I'm here. I just want to make sure Mr. Punch is still waiting and I could give him the best advice I possibly can give him right now. Give him some extra attention. Also sending them to the moon for waiting. Mr. Punch, let's go. Mr. Punch, Dynasty Superflex. Here he is. Mark is your league for money, and so is there space available for me, says Mr. Punch. He wants to play in a league. Mr. Punch's team, Dynasty Superflex, half PPR, 12 teams. Hurts, Chubb, Madison, Cup, Christian Watson, Godwin, Kittle, Pickens, Debo. Fields also have Swift and Deontay. Wow. So you got Hurts and Fields. That's an unbelievable quarterback duo, bro. Chubb's got 1 to 2 years left, so I'm tempted to trade him for a Gibbs or a Bijan by giving up like a future first rounder and Chubb. That would be one idea. Madison, I'd get rid of Madison before his value tanks. Chubb and Madison for Bijan or Gibbs. I'd do that straight up. Cooper Kupp, he's 30 years old, and I'm not touching him in the first round this year, even though people think I'm crazy. And so obviously I want to get into a younger player like Olave, so, Cup for Olave straight up might even work. Cup for Olave, maybe you have to give up a Madison, throw Swift into your starting lineup and kind of roll the dice there. Godwin I throw in to do any of those types of deals as well. Godwin to Olave using a first rounder in addition would be one idea. To keep Pickens, keep Debo, even though Debo's got some long-term concerns, but, it is what it is. Swift, I love. Deontay, I sell high. He seems to have some market value. So Deontay and Madison for Javonte. Deontay and Madison for Kenneth Walker. Deontay and Madison and a first rounder for Walker or for Breece Hall or for Gibbs. Obviously Bijan as well. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Punch. Those are the ways to improve this team, but do not trade Hurts or Fields, my guy. Do not do it. And Watson, I probably don't sell him because you can't sell him for enough. Bill says, nobody loves like Smitty. Appreciate you, Bill. That's Bill the Tickler. Bill is the man, the myth, the legend. Everybody throw another a couple prayer emojis up for Bill, and let's send him to the moon one more time.
To the moon.
So that he's okay and everything in his life irons out. Appreciate Bill. D-Money, appreciate you. Ethan, Travis, Bill, Tyler. Tyler says, Smitty has turned into my number one nightly entertainment. I appreciate your super chat, Tyler, and you keep it coming, pal. You keep those supers coming in. I appreciate you all. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully we have breaking news of some sorts. We have a live emergency breaking news show midday. And then, of course, I'm going live at 8 p.m. per usual. Oh, tomorrow's Sunday. Tomorrow's Sunday. We're not live at 8 p.m. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm sorry. Tomorrow I'm going to be live at some point tomorrow. And then Monday, I don't even know what day it is. I thought tomorrow was Monday. Looks like I get to stay up a little later. Maybe I'll do some Netflixing or something like that. A little Bed Bath & Beyond. Home Depot, I don't know if we'll have time, but tomorrow we should be busy. I imagine we do a live stream or a premiere tomorrow. So you could bet your bottom dollar something's out there news-wise that I'm going to need to go live on. I'll see you all tomorrow. Go get Jahmyr Gibbs, baby. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara.
Schmitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
So I'll see you all later. Golf dropping a $4.99 at the end, like a monster. Hope you have a good rest of the weekend. Thank you, Golf. I'll see you tomorrow. You know I will. Golf, my golf course looks great. Golf, DM me on Instagram. I'll send you some videos of the yard. But my little golf, not a golf course. It's a putting green. Sorry. Putting green looks amazing. Mr. Punch, appreciate your super chat. You keep them coming, pal. You keep them coming in like wine. Okay, pouring in like wine. Zeke is signing with the Pats. You heard it from Mr. Punch. He says first. Sick Nasty says Smitty has turned into the number one reason I don't get much done at work. That is probably the nicest thing anybody could ever say to me, to be quite honest. I know that's not probably what I should be saying, but that's how I feel. And Travis Rowe, thank you for modding. Sick Nasty, one of the new mods. Vampy's a new mod. Vampy's such a good dude. Sick Nasty's such a good dude. And Travis Rowe, it's unbelievable, man. These beautiful mods that are in here. Just modding like crazy. Reebok, I'm real excited about Reebok becoming a big part of the show. Met him in Vegas, turned him into a subscriber and an avid commenter and amazing additions he brings to the table. Love my boy Reebok. And Tyler, who's sipping back on Grandpa's old cough medicine right now, like Denny, like he learned from Denny. Maybe that's Denny's son as well. We got a lot of reunions going on here tonight. Bill the Tickler and Spencer the Tickler. Appreciate both of them showing up. Father-son duo on the phone line was amazing. Travis. Yes, Travis is a GOAT. He sure is. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you, Golf. Thank you, Golf. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you, Owen. Appreciate your super chat, Owen. Thank you, Mr. Punch. You are the man. TMT in the building. Appreciate TMT. Thank you, Angus, for your usual. Thank you, Ace, for your super chat. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate you dropping that super chat at the beginning. And then Zach with the first super chat of the night. Absolute monsters. Super chat monsters, I tell you. And Golf dropping a holy smokies right on at the end of the show. I'm glad I waited.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you, Golf. Appreciate you. See you all tomorrow. Glad to have you back, Andre. Sick Nasty. My guy, Sick Nasty. Mod Squad, that's right, Travis. Brent, go rewatch it. We got a lot of good content, especially the beginning. We talk about Burrow and Fields. Let's ride. Time to grab a Mexican Coke. Bought a case. They're so good. Reebok, did you and I talk about this? Because I'm one of the biggest Mexican Coke connoisseurs out there. I get a case from either the Costco or this other little place that I get it from. But I constantly have a case of Mexican Coke on me. I've been drinking a little more than I used to, or have been in the last couple months, because I've been drinking these, because these have 5 calories, 20 calories, depending on the prime you drink. But I've been slipping back into the Mexican Coke, 2-3 a day. But I'm still running and working out. I haven't been gaining any weight. In fact, I've been losing a little weight because I've been in the yard sweating. But yeah, bro, I'm with you, Reebok. They're the best. All right, later. I got to go scoop up something on the ground here because Golf's dropping another one, and I'm so ill prepared to even go find some cash to throw around. Love the show and Nightstream, he says.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
See you later, Golf. Appreciate you, Golf. Yeah, that Mexican Coke tastes so much better. It's the best. Hey, Reebok, can I give you I know I keep leaving like a Marvel movie or something. Reebok, can I give you a little piece of advice? It's very, very key that you get it right, though, because if you don't, you explosion in the freezer. Put it in the freezer. Put a timer, like do an iPhone timer or use your Alexa or whatever, and set a timer for like 8 to 10 minutes, okay? Keep them in the fridge. Put it in the freezer, Reebok, for 8 minutes, and then when it's done, take it out. Just if you overfreeze it, when you open it, it'll overflow or whatever. But freeze it. Get those suckers like ice cold to the point where they're not frozen. No part of it's frozen, but it's almost there. It is the best way to drink those Mexican Cokes, man. Just completely, almost to the point where there's just almost a little slush in it, but it's not. You don't want it frozen. Try it. I'm telling you. All right, out of here. Later, golf later, everybody. Appreciate you. Brees Hall, 8 foot tall.
Brees Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Brees. He's Brees.
He does a whole of a job. A whole of a job. A whole of a job.
Brees Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Hold on a second. Golf's dropping another $20 holler. He says this is for Sick Nasty, Travis, and Terry. Great guys holding down the show.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Golf to the moon. Golf to the absolute moon, I tell you.
To the
I
moon.
I tell you. On that note.
Leave it on the fields.
Just in time.
Fields of dreams.
Fields like making love.
Outstanding in his fields.
Fields so good.
Fields general. My field's good. Uneven playing fields.
Battlefields tested.
Fields. Fields. He's for reals.
Drop a golf emoji on your way out the door. Appreciate you all. I'll see you tomorrow.
Get breached.
Thanks again, golf.